Hi, this is the Queen, Marva Nichols, and welcome to the Throne Room podcast on MTMV Sports Network. And I have Coach Mickey Joseph from Grambling State University in my virtual studio to talk about Grambling State football, and we'll be right back.
You got the woman of your dreams on your team. Let's go, King.
It's your crown. Hold it. Even if it all falls down, show it. You know the world is watching now. I know you get tired from keeping it all together. We need you. It's your crown. Hold it. Even if it all falls down, show it. You know the world is watching now. I know you get tired from keeping it all together. We need you.
I hear if you hear it enough, you'll believe it. King be it, King live it, King receive it. Straighten up your crown, King. Let nobody knock you off your square. And the joy that you bring, let your light shine bright. Illuminate the night. People looking in may assume that you might get caught in beauty and height, because a cutie's your type. It's cool to be choosy about your soon-to-be wife. So never let them hating spectators underrate you and tell you that your nature is less than stellar. Tell them good God made you, and you major. You were made to create by the creator, and loving on your woman is something to be proud
of. Welcome back and welcome, Coach Joseph. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good because I'm talking to the head football coach of my alma mater, Grambling State University. How's it been going down there in the piney woods of Louisiana?
It's been going great. We had a really good fall camp. The boys really paid attention to detail. It's really structured for them. It was long days for them. We tested them. We pushed them. And, we happy where they're at right now. So today was our no turnover takeaway Wednesday. So it was all about the ball today. And they did a really good job today. And I told them, I said, I'm proud of them. And we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving in the right direction and keep improving every time we hit the football field.
Wow, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And it sounds like you really, really worked with our team with discipline and getting them ready for this upcoming season. Now, let our audience know, where do you come from? Where are you from? I know you're from New Orleans. I know you're from New Orleans, but I know you played for, what was the school you played for? I know you played against one of my best friends, Sean Burris. I talked to him today. He said, tell Mickey I said hello.
Yeah, I'm from Aurora, Louisiana, a suburb outside of New Orleans. I played at Archbishop Shaw. Burris played at L.W. Higgins. He was a quarterback for Higgins. They had a really good team when I played against him. And then from there, I went on to Nebraska, where I played, 4 years. And, just come from a family of coaches. My brother Vance is the defensive coordinator with the Denver Broncos. My cousin Terry is the passing game coordinator, DB coach at Texas. And my brother Sammy is the DB coach at ULM. So, just a heavy coach's family, trying to make it work every day in life.
Wow, you're a family of football coaches. Wow. Everybody, yeah. So you all probably feed off of each other. And I can't imagine family dinners and functions or gatherings because, and especially if it's football season, I'm sure you guys are chopping it up.
Well, they were able to come out. They all came out to the Legends golf tournament. So they were able to make it there. Because we see each other probably once a year or so. Terry, me and Sammy, we see each other, doing recruiting. So we usually see each other in July, just to make sure that everything's folks focus and everybody's on the right track.
Well, that's awesome. It's nothing like family, coach. And now you're Grand fam, right? And
Yes.
Wanted to ask you, adjusting to, a new environment is always a challenge. How have you adapted to the culture and the traditions at Grambling State? And what has been the most significant aspect of this transition for you?
Well, I've been here before. I was here with Fobs, the first 2 years under Fobs. So I understand exactly what needed to be done here. And I know the first thing needed to be done. We need to be Grambling. We need to look like Grambling. We need to be physical like Grambling State. And we also need to have the structure that Coach Robinson and Doug and Broadway, Broderick, all the past coaches who won here, you know, we had to have the structure that they have. But at the end of the day, you know, I'll tell everybody, you know, Grambling expects to win because, you know, it's Grambling. That's what everybody expectations are, you know. And we always say Grambling State football standing up performance. How high is that? Well, it's always going to be high here. And because we got to play at a high level, you have to play at a high level to win football games at, you know, just outside the SWAC, but really within the SWAC because it's such a talented conference that you have to pay attention to detail. You gotta have some structure, but then you also have to be really physical. So I think we're trying to get all that done. And, you know, we'll know more next week. We'll you know, ULL is a good measuring stick. So we want to see how that game goes. And after that, we'll be able to evaluate and see where we're at going into the Tuskegee game.
You know, you talk about talent. What, who we know about Myles Crawley. We know that he's very talented. We know that he's on the radar for so many like awards. It's just very, very exciting for him and for all of us because Graham fam, we love to brag, right? And so, but wanted to ask you about other talent on the team on the offensive side and the defensive side.
Well, you know, I think we have two, you know, two or three really good running backs. You know, with Bull Hallgrave, a kid out of Ruston that started at Mississippi State, went to Memphis. Now he transferred back here. We just got a kid in that started with me at LSU, graduated from North Texas, Trey Bradford. And we like the kids that's in the building. We like Elder, and we also like Talbot. We love those kids. But you know, I think that's a talented group. And I think when you talk about the receiver core, Nashawn Dickinson's been a really surprise here because not a surprise, but just like what I expect out of him. You know, and so you really, you know, Jalen Johnson, a kid transferred from McNeese, kid out of New Orleans, has had a great camp. Then I think inside, you know, with Javon Robinson and Jacoby Bellazar being the transfer from Mississippi State. You know, I think that, you know, that's a really solid position because this offense is going to be generated through the F position, just like we was at LSU. The offense was generated through Jefferson. So they should catch a bulk of the balls. And then when you go outside, you know, you have, you know, Nick Howard, a kid that transferred from Arkansas Monticello, and then Pat Williams, a kid transferred from Arizona State. So you know we got some kids up front. And you know Toby Williams, you know Darius Meeks, and then, you know Quentin Ross. So we have some players. We have some kids that we brought in. But like you said, we don't have a bad conscience about when we brought these kids in because we gave the kids that was on the roster before, we gave them an opportunity. We didn't come in and slice them right away. We gave them opportunity. So what we did after we you know evaluated them, then we made a decision to part ways with some of them.
Mm, I get you. And you know what? When new coaches come in, sometimes you have to change the personnel, right? To
Yeah,
get
I mean,
the
yes,
team that you
definitely,
want.
you definitely do, especially if they if they don't have a good bit of wins. You know, you got to bring some kids in that you don't want to bring those same kids in and they keep that same mentality because losing is contagious. And once they get used to it, you know, it's just like, you know, we had to losing's gotta upset you. Losing's gotta move you a certain way. You know, when you lose a one-on-one battle here on our field, you're gonna hear about it because we need you to win your one-on-one. So losing's not in our vocabulary. And winning is. And I think that's what we had to keep preaching here because at the end of the day, that's what Grambling's winners. They always win. You know, the foundation that these kids have right now, some of them don't know, but we let them know, you know, 15 HBCU national championships, 27 SWAC championships. So, you know, we have a great foundation. So we got to always talk about winning here.
Well, will we win in the trenches? Are we physical on the you talked about the running backs and will they have a line that's going to block to open up some holes for them to run that ball down the field?
Yeah, I mean that's why we brought him in here. We're really excited about our young kids. You know, young kids that we got out of high school. I think those Frank Moss and Amon Owens, and Michael Williams and Omarion Duplessis. I think those kids are really good players. They're young right now, but they're going to be really good players. So we're going to continue to stack talent here and let it sort itself out. I think the best thing you can do by being a college football coach is bring in a lot of talent and be able to manage the personalities. That's the big thing. Manage the personalities and find the ones that want to win. Find the ones that want to work hard. People say, do I have favorites? So yeah, I do. I have favorites. I have kids who want to show up on time, who want to do the extra, who want to do what they're supposed to do to win. So yeah, I do have favorites. I want the right ones. I just told our kids today, make sure they're listening to the right people. Make sure they're not listening to people that's telling them, you're better than this, you're better than that. Because kids got to understand when you go home and they start telling you that you're better than, they got to understand that person hadn't sat in one meeting and hadn't watched one practice. They just remember what you did in high school. So that's what they're going off. So we kind of talked to our kids about that today, about still trying to develop our young kids and for our young kids, don't give up, just keep pushing, but block out the noise. And sometimes you got to block out family noise.
That's great stuff, Coach. And like you said, people can get in the heads of kids and say, well, you're better or this, that, and the other. And that can cause them to even deplete emotionally and mentally as it pertains to them, playing at this level. So that's awesome that you're talking to your players, because the social emotional aspect of playing sports today is very much different than it was when you were playing, and even some of the young men that play after you or even before you. And so um, that's awesome to hear, and just keep doing that, because it helps the young men to be able to process, I
Absolutely.
believe, why things are happening the way they are, and what they need to do to improve upon their potential to play or to start, or whatever the desires of their hearts are. So thank you for enlightening us about that. Now, building strong relationships with your players is key, to any team success. How have you connected? And you just talked about how you're talking to them, you're being honest with them, you're being transparent with them, but what other ways have you connected with your players so far? And what are some ways you're working to foster a strong team culture that will last throughout the season?
Well, with the transfer portal, it's kind of hard, to get kids to get on the same page. But take my hat off to my coaches and my support staff. They all done a great job with them, because we're all on the same page. Sometimes when the kids confused, it's because three people are telling them three different things. And in this building, everybody's preaching the same story. Because it's my vision. It's nobody else's vision. And if I see that you have your own vision, then you got to go find another place to work. And they understand that. I think that's the respect thing to do. I've been an assistant coach before. I didn't have my own vision when I was at Louisiana Tech with Skip Holtz, and I was there with Broderick. I had their vision. When I was with Ogeron at LSU, I had his vision. And I tell them all the time. I tell young coaches, I say, hey, write down 10 things that you think you want to do when you take over this program. And after they write it down, I say, okay, put it in your pocket. And when you take this program over, you need to pull it out and you use it. Other than that,
Oh,
you need to do what I ask you to do. Because at the end of the day, they got to show me the same respect that they would show any other coach. And sometimes as black head coaches, we don't get that. And sometimes it's from our own black coaches, and so we got to teach them, not give up on it. We got to teach them this game's going to work. And they understand, don't play with me. Don't play with me. They know what else I'll tell them after that.
okay. Well, you heard it from, I'm not going to call you Coach Mickey Joseph. It's Coach MJ, the legend.
No,
The
I
legend
just,
is
I just, I
talking,
just, yeah, I
talking
just
like
try to be,
a legend
yeah,
now.
yeah. I just try to be honest with my coaches and my players, and I mean, I tell them all the time, like, would you do this if you was there? Because so many young coaches think this. I'm going to change once I go get that salary for 400,000, and I tell them, no, you're not. You're going to be that same guy, and you're gonna last about 3 months at these Power Fives, and they're going to get rid of you, and they're going to pay you off. They're going to pay you to walk away. So I got to train them if they're going to leave me, that they know how it is, at the next school. And so, and I do tell them, I've been all over. I've been in HBCUs. I've been Group of Five. I've been Power Five. I've been Division II. I've been NAIA. So I understand how all these levels work. So I try to help them, and if they want help, I'll give it to them. If they don't, then they swim.
Got it. You large and in charge, and this is Coach Mickey Joseph with the Queen, and he said it, and I believe him. So, Coach, the G Men have we know have a rich history, and
Mhm.
fans and alumni have high expectations now. What can they look forward to this season, and what will define a successful year under your leadership?
Well, the first thing we have to represent Grambling the right way. So we have to have, like I always talk about, structure. We got to have structure within our program. We can't run out on the field with 10 or have 13 out there, or our kids don't know when we're kicking. Uh, um, a kickoff after a safety. So what we did here, we put them in every situation possible that can happen in the game. And so when they do get in those situations, they won't panic. So we put them in 4 minutes. We put them in goal line. We put them in coming out. We put them in a 2-minute mode. We put them in a third down mode. So we put them in first down, play second down. We put them in second down, play third down. So we did a lot of situation stuff with them, and some of them, they hadn't come from that era, so they just want to play. So my thing is this: it's not the boys' club where you just throw the ball out and play. Every footballs is a game of situations, and if you don't work those situations, when they get in those situations, they're gonna melt. So we do get in overtime, or we do get in a 4 minute or 2 minute. We've been there before because we've seen it on film. We coached it on film, and we try to do things the right way. So we can expect a physical football team because physicality is going to be in our DNA. But we're gonna do things the right way. We're gonna do things the right way, and we're gonna do whatever we have to do to win the game. If that's we have to blitz you every play and play man, or we have to throw it 50 times, or we have to run it 50 times. It don't matter. We're gonna work in all three phases, and we're gonna make them all three phases work together to win the game.
And what should we expect from University of Louisiana? I know you studied them. What are some of their strengths?
Well, they have a really good football team. They've been in postseason the last couple of years, so they returning on 4 starters on the offensive line. They just had a quarterback battle. I think they named the Woolridge kid, the starter, but they want to be 12 personnel. They want to pound you. So usually, if you're in 12 personnel, you can't stop the run in 12 personnel. They'll put extra tight end and they'll go 13 personnel and try to really bloody your nose. So, we've been talking to our defense about, being in their gaps, having gap integrity, and the linebackers not letting it get to the safeties, and so we understand what we're getting there. And on defense, they have couple of kids that's on a Senior Bowl watch list. So they have a really good football team. But the special teams well coached. But overall, man, it's just a really good football team. It's a great opportunity for us to play a team like that, and it happened just to be in the state of Louisiana. So we'll be familiar with some of the kids, and those they'll be familiar with some of our kids. So we just go in there to try to play strong in all three phases of the game, and then we're not going to look at the scoreboard. We're going to just keep playing, and we always talk to them about playing 60 minutes. But if it has to go overtime, then we'll be prepared for that. So they always say, hey, the game's not over till we get on the bus.
Let's go. Let's go, Coach. Well, my last question for you is if you had an opportunity to choose a historical figure to be the honorary captain for this game against University of Louisiana, who would it be, and how do you think they would impact the team morally?
A historical figure. I would say Shaq and Doug, because they've been close to me since I've been here. And I get phone calls, and I see that name James Harris and Doug. So they've been very supportive of me. And I know at the end of the day, when you say those two names, with all due respect to Coach Robinson, because without Coach Robinson, I wouldn't be sitting here myself, because the things that he did in his days was tough. But Coach Robinson started something and finished something. He's the all-time winningest coach. But if we had to do it right now, it would be Doug and Shaq to get them to be honorary captains because they won a lot of games here. They won a lot of games here, and they bleed Grambling. That's what you want. And I always tell our kids that we can't live off the kill that those boys did in the 80s and the 90s. We got to go make our own kill. But you do
Make
have
our
a
own.
foundation. You do have a foundation that you can go out and you do have a support. I tell them all the time, if one G man watch you practice, 500 G-men watch you practice because they're gonna spread like wildfire, and you'll get the phone call. But like I said before, my door's open to all the guys that play there, all the former G-men, man. You don't have to make no appointment. This y'all school, this y'all ground. Y'all built this thing. So I'm just honored to be the head coach here. And I want to do well. I want to win. I want to win for Grambling. I want to win for these kids. I want to win for this administration. But I want to win for these fans because we have some passionate fans that really looking for it to get back. Like I tell our kids, we want everybody to go to church on Sunday, happy now, and get something to talk about. But like you said, we're happy, but it's an honor to be here, and we're gonna treat it as such, me and my family.
Well, listen, I know the G-men are happy to hear that from you, and because they love the program, they have that G-man pride, and they're always pulling for their little brothers, and for you to open your door for them to come in and come alongside you and mentor those young men. That is phenomenal, and thank you so much for saying that. I think that is an awesome gesture from you as the head coach, and I appreciate that because I am a big fan of Grambling football, and so to hear you say that made my heart really, really, really glad. And so, with that being said, I want to thank you, Coach
Okay.
Joseph, for joining me on the Throne Room podcast. Looks like you'll be a regular with me for this season.
Yeah.
I want to get some of the G-men on here and some of your coaching staff if they have time.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I have, the head honcho with me on the Throne Room. And as we are headed into week 1 of HBCU football and SWAC conference play, just know that every week my audience, which is my royal family, will king an Eastern Division coach and a Western Division coach weekly based upon their coaching and team's performance. And then we will crown one coach the king of the SWAC in December. Coach, will it be you?
Hopefully. One stop sign at a time, though.
One stop sign at a time. I think once we get a little closer, we'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know. So to all the kings and queens out there, from my throne to yours, continue to inspire greatness, and farewell until our next crown session. Thank you for joining the coach and the queen. This has been Marva Nichols reporting for MTMV Sports.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is dedicated to all the kings and all the soon-to-be kings. We're counting on you. We love you. This is for you. You and you and you.